Midland long distance.
Midland, yeah.
I would have introduced a track meet, by the way, last year for the first time ever on the calendar.
Right.
Fervet distance classic.
Yes, yeah, man.
Right?
It was a big thing here at JC.
Yeah, man. And it's something. That's a start.
Yeah.
People have it to say, boys, only Africans can run distance.
Yeah.
America, Canada, and even Puerto Rico, right, would have shown us that they can produce athletes at high level. They don't have to be
in the Midland,
right. In the Midland, they don't have to be from Africa.
Yeah.
So, and one of the things when you look at those countries, they have meets that are just distance meets to encourage people to come and say, hey, and everybody can sprint, but come and show your talent in these events. It's something that I wish to grow upon, and I'm hoping that it's a start, and I'm hoping that we can have 2 or 3 more on the calendar where it's just pure distance events.
Right. Like how you have other places where they're sprinting and other places where it's shows.
Right.
You want to mend that. But are you planning in the future to really invite people from overseas?
That is the plan. So at some point, I want the event to grow at a level that it's even too big for JC. I'll have to take it to the national stadium.
Yeah.
So I invite international athletes from overseas to come and let's spur some interest in these events.
You mentioned an athlete from Turks and Caicos and so on. This is a very controversial topic that people banding around. I don't know if it happened at JC. But what I'm saying, what do you say of the people who is carrying at the schools? This is a good question to ask you. Let me ask the question. What do you say of the schools, like, I don't want to call any name, that is carrying like the Kenyan people from overseas and want
all right. So
what do you say to that?
So I'm going to address this by looking directly in the camera.
Look at the camera and talk to women because I don't know if JC is guilty of it.
Well,
look at the camera.
Well, I am glad you raised the point.
Yes, man.
See, in 2019, I picked up the phone and I called my chairman in charge of sports here at JC, Mr. Ian Forbes.
Yeah.
And I said to him, sir, I really do believe it's now full time that we start to look outside of the country to help talents in the country, in other countries, in the Caribbean to grow, because the expertise is just not there. I am looking in the camera.
2019.
I am looking in the camera. Right? And I asked my chairman for his blessing.
Right.
And he said, Duane, it's a good idea.
Good idea?
It's a good idea. No.
I have so much talent in Jamaica.
I'm going to explain my reasons.
Alright, go ahead. We have the opportunity.
I then went to my principal, spoke to my principal about it, and he said, yes, sir, we have the facilities here. Let us invite some of our neighbors over.
Yes.
I went to the Carifta Games to be a spectator and also to scout talents. When I went to the Carifta Games and I saw some talents there and I had conversations with them, parents, coaches, I was amazed to see that the type of structure used in other Caribbeans. Now, they don't, the type of structure that we have here in Jamaica, you cannot find it anywhere else in the Caribbean. And I said to myself, wow, imagine if these Caribbean countries had those type of expertise. Now, I remember when I was at GC, I saw a lot of St. Lucians
foreign people
coming to study there. I saw a lot of, and I'm saying to myself, why can't we start it at this level, you know, so the youngsters understand from now what it takes to be at the next level. And the reasons why this all came up, we are bringing in athletes from all over the country. And I realized that some of us are so spoiled and we have no level of appreciation for what we're doing in sports. And when I say some of us, I mean parents, students, everybody. Right? So, you know, they come, you know, you bring them in on scholarships for those who really can't afford education here. And they just make it waste. You know, just really, you know, the law of average is like 2 to 1.
Okay. So
You
you
know?
get the opportunity to
So
come to JC
right,
and
yeah, so I'm like, no. I said we need to spread our wings.
right.
Now that we start to bring in these talents and talents coming over and doing very well, lo and behold, now there is a backlash.
Yes, man, there's a big backlash on
Oh,
this, man.
we're giving away all these resources to
Yeah.
other people's country and all of
Country.
this. But CARICOM was designed for a reason.
Yeah.
It is a reason for regional integration so that we can share our expertise among us.
I want to ask you though, don't you think it will stifle the Jamaican talent?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because no matter what, thanks to GC Foster College,
Yeah.
we have a lot of expert coaches all across the country.
Jamaica, that's
so
true.
You don't necessarily have to leave Westmoreland anymore to come to town.
Yes, man.
To be at a high
Westmoreland,
level.
man, down
Right.
there. Yeah.
Exactly. You don't need to leave Clarendon and come to town anymore.
Yeah.
Clarendon College doing well. Edwin Allen doing very well.
Yeah.
Homewood doing very well. Stets doing very well. Monroe doing very well.
Yes.
Carroll College doing. So the talent pool and expertise among coaches is so wide and far that I think it's over dramatized. I see Issa came in a new rule now that is kind of clamping down on.
Yes, man. Issa came in a rule to block
the transfers. I really think it's unfortunate because I don't see, if I'm coming from the outside, what I have to do with anything that's happening on the inside.
Yeah.
Right. But it is what it is. I would have preferred if Issa would have said, okay, you have a cap into the amount of international students you can recruit, which I would have accepted because like the NCAAs in America does have that.
Yeah.
There is a cap, but it shouldn't be that we're tying in everything in one. We're saying, oh yeah, international students are over 16 years old is a part of the local quota rule. Like it doesn't make sense, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And we roll with the punches.
Right. Mr. Johnson, you also played a very integral part in a young man's life. I watched a documentary on Nationwide. I was amazed at what happened where he is now, and the background that he was coming from, or you have taken him over, tried to be a father figure.
Right.
Tell me the young man name. Tell me, give me a short story of this.
Alright, so he is Javon Blake, which I would have mentioned earlier.
Mentioned Javon Blake, right?
So here is a youngster I met at Sports Day, in first form, who had, when I saw him running the 1500 for his house, I said, wow, efficient stride pattern, which is critical in middle and long distance running. And I said, wow, this natural. This looks natural. So at the end of the race, I went over to him and I said to him, I said, son, why aren't you doing track and field? And he said, oh, and then when he spoke so fluently, and I was like, oh Lord, he's one of our nerds, because JC has is a well diverse community.
Right.
You have a lot of brilliant minds here, young minds here. You have very diverse, right? So when I saw it, I said, oh, he's probably just a bright boy. Pass for JC. I started to summarize in my head who he is. Bright boy who passed for JC, who is just representing his house and has no interest in sports. But as we continue to have the conversation, he said to me, but you know what? My mother kept forcing me to join a track team, and I came out in September, trial for sprints. And the coach told me that I didn't have any use, so he stopped. The coach running man said, no, use, so he stopped. So I said, no, man. I said, which coach? And he told me the coach, and I was disappointed at the time. Because this coach is a GC student, and is one thing we learn at GC, is that if you realize the talent not good in a 1 year,
try something.
We can try another year, So
you don't run people.
Yeah, you never run people. Never run people. I learned that from Michael Clark. So I said to myself, no man, but you're super talented. It took me some convincing when I found out that he's from Waterhouse. single parent home.
Oh.
Mother has a daughter as well. She's trying to take care of them for that because at the time her and the father wasn't on talking terms. So I said to myself, okay, now here is something now that I can use to my advantage to convince him why this route is important. When I check his records, I realize that he's a brilliant boy in school.
Okay. Doing well academically.
Doing well academically. Was in the top 3 in the year group.
Okay.
So I said, so I carry him in the office here. Sports master at the time, who is now the vice principal here, who's a GC person as well, Artist Winter.
Okay.
And I said to him, sir, here is a talent that boy I really do think can do very well.
Yeah.
But I need your help to convince him that sports can actually be an avenue for him to get to college.
Right.
Because he's from a poor background. And so we talked with him in here, and you could tell that he wasn't sold completely, but he was sold a bit. So I took his number and I told him, look, I don't know about your family situation, but I can be that second father to you to help guide you and motivate you and stuff. So he said, really? I said, he said, you want to do that? I said, yeah, I wouldn't have a problem. So, I text him, keep in contact with him, motivating him, because I saw something special there, you know? Right.
You pick up something that
yeah, man. Right. So, and that's how that relationship built. Things got really bad with his mother financially, and so I met with my principal and said, you know what, sir, when I heard of his living conditions at home, I said, you know what, it would be good if we could get him in our boarding facility here. Although he lives in town. So the principal said, sure, fine, signed off on it. Yeah, and then he really just, when I said he flourished, he from being number 3 he became number 1.
Yes.
Academics, training, everything. Started to do it well, started to lift his profile out there in the track and field circuit, became the number 1 middle distance athlete in the country.
Right.
Became world class in the top 5 every year in under 20 and all that. So, past 15, first thing in third form, I said to him, I heard that there is a program now where they're going to allow third formers to start doing CXC subjects. I said, I think you should do it because I know you have it. He said, you sure? I said, yeah, man. His mother never had the money, so I raised the funds for him to do it. He passed it with distinction, straight A profile, ranked number 3 in the region.
Okay.
As a third farmer.
Yeah,
HSB.
Okay.
Right? In fourth farm, I said, all right, how much subject you doing in fourth farm now? He said 2. I said, no, I think you should do 4. Did 4, passed all 4 with grade 1s, all straight A profile. And made the Caribbean list for 3 of the 4 subjects. Maths, social studies, and I think it was econ.
While he was doing track and field?
While he was doing track and field.
Wow.
And he never misses a training session.
Wow.
In fifth farm, did 12 more subjects.
12
more subjects. All grade 1, straight A profile.
Wow.
Right? And in fifth farm and fourth farm, medal at CHAMPS. And that was at the peak of his thing. In fourth farm, when he did the 4th subject, he actually won double gold at CHAMPS. No, he won the gold in the 1500. Came very close to breaking the record. Was off by a couple tenths of hundreds of a second. And came second in the 800 because he developed an injury during that race. So, he then, of course, naturally would have now developed a very, very good relationship with me. Right. Because everything coach told me that would happen.
Right before my eyes.
Right before his eyes. Lo and behold, he got an Ivy League scholarship.
Yeah.
Didn't do so well on the track this year because he had some injuries. But as it turned out, still doing well in school. Yeah. 4.0 GPA is first.
Amazing story. Year. Amazing. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's on the YouTube and nationwide. YouTube page, at the radio station in Jamaica, nationwide YouTube page. Amazing story. You'd watch it over and over. And this man, Duane Johnson, is so integral in his development. Mr. Johnson, I'm gonna touch your area now. The area of Jamaica College. Some people say no have it easy. Some people say if you go up there and tell the principal say the track team need $1 million, you get it.
Not so. Not so. That is not true.
You know that there is a perception that
so
one Jamaica College say they want something, man. They want 20 football and this track and field and get it. What you
there is a wrong perception. Alright? And I want to clarify a lot of things.
Yes, man.
I'm happy we're doing this podcast.
Yes, man.
Alright. So while Jamaica College is very big on sports because we believe in all round, and it all started from way back in the day. A lot of people don't know that Norman Manley passed through these doors.
Yes.
And when Norman Manley was here as a student, he was a CHAMPS record holder at 110 yards at the time, and still being a scholar here at school. So, and there's this thing that developed from way back then that every JC boy must have some extracurricular activity that they're good at. Whether it's sports, whether it's being involved in club and society.
Say that again.
Every single Jamaica College student must be involved and very involved in an extracurricular activity.
Okay.
Must be. Right, because we believe in an all-round development of students.
Okay.
All right. So that's a mission of the school. All right. Now, with that being said, it's still a school, right? And the principal, who actually runs the school as if he really does a very good job of running the school as if it's more than a school.
Yes.
Right. However, he has to balance, right? So we have to give our budget to him every year.
Yes.
To say this is what we need for our program. But it doesn't mean that he can find funds. So we still have to go out there and try and do stuff to fundraise to help.
Jamaica College go out and fundraise?
Of course.
No, you have to look at the camera and say that,
Jamaica College have to go out and raise funds for their sports teams.
No, Mr. Johnson, why I'm saying this is that I'm from the country, rural Jamaica, not too rural Jamaica. And from I've been coming up in high school and so on, when you hear of a JC, Jamaica College, right? We believe that if you ask for anything, it is there put down. And you say you have to go there and raise funds just like any other school?
We have to raise funds just like every other school. The only thing about it, though, we're a little bit fortunate. So don't get me wrong, we're a little bit fortunate.
Yes.
Because we have some very powerful old boys in society.
Yes. That is where I want to go now. Your alumni.
Right.
Very, very powerful.
Very strong, very powerful.
Yes.
Right.
So you have that back at him.
We have that back. So now
nothing is wrong with that.
To build that, which they're big on infrastructure development.
Yes.
Right. As you can see, our plant is first class.
First class, very big on first class.
Right. So they're big on that. So for example, we would have been championing for a facility, a multi-facility like this for
beautiful stadium
for years, even before our two main rivals in Kingston got theirs. We have been lobbying for that for years.
Right.
But it came over time, and it's from an old boy.
Yes.
He went deep into his pocket.
Who is
Ashanine.
Ashanine, yes.
Right. The Ashanine family.
And the stadium is named after
his father, who was a student here at JC as well.
Yes.
Because the whole Ashanine brothers came to JC.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. And the father.
Right.
So he decided that he was going to build the stadium in his father's honor, who was a track athlete as well.
A track athlete, yes.
So we are fortunate. The gym was also built by Frank Hall family, who actually owned Salt Company before he passed. And he was an athlete here as well. Very good track and field.
So what you're saying to me, Mr. Johnson, is that other schools can do it, but the alumni, the old boys have to come and do what they are doing.
Give back to their schools.
So most of something
schools.
that you're seeing also is the alumni who have contributed
Right.
to JC development.
Right. Now there are a group of old boys who may not be as so rich and powerful like the Dan Williams and the Michael Bernard, Asher Nimes and the, but because of their passion, even if they're making $100,000 a month, I can call them and say, "Hey brother, the track team need this and this," and by later on, you see, a little $10,000 coming.
Loyalty,
right? So that's the type of connection that we have with our alumni association and alumni fraternity.
Yes.
So schools need that. Schools need that.
I agree with
Schools
you.
need that.
I agree with you. CHAMPS. CHAMPS have elude you the JC forward last year?
2 years
ago. 2 years now. 2 years now. What does it take now to get back up there, winning CHAMPS? Because JC don't settle for second,
Yeah, we're a school of champions.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we always aim high first. But I am sure our two main rivals has the same philosophy. Right? So people need to understand CHAMPS is not easy to win.
No, not at all.
It takes a lot of effort, both from the financial side of things and from management side of things and from talent side of things. We thought that we would have had a chance to win this last CHAMPS, a really good chance, but unfortunately a lot of things went wrong for us. We had a lot of late injuries going in.
Simple things can throw you off.
Even in the CHAMPS itself, when we actually were in a tight battle with KC before they ended up blowing us out, we had lost some key integral members of our team.
Yes.
Then there was a flu bug that hit our camp.
During CHAMPS?
During CHAMPS.
Wow.
Yeah, the whole team.
Some people do not know the behind this, like that happened.
A lot of people don't know.
Following the media.
Right. So we had a big flu that hit the camp, and dehydration was a big factor. A lot of the athletes that we expected to do extremely well couldn't because of all of that. So it eluded us for various factors. But kudos to KC. I think they did a very, very good job. Very, very good job. But we're aiming for it again this year, and we're doing whatever we can because a lot of the planning happening now. It's not during the season or when CHAMPS starts. It's what you do now really counts. Right. So we are trying our best to ensure that we do whatever we can to get the boys ready, and we're successful next year.
Right. And you personally as a coach, you said you have never traveled with a national team?
Never tried. Well, I have been to few national games.
Believe it or not. I mean, when a team is leaving Jamaica,
believe it or
not, you have never gone?
Saying. I have left on the plane on national duties, but not for Jamaica. So I've been given national duties for Turks and Caicos twice.
But not for Jamaica?
Not for Jamaica. Because of what I would have done with some athletes that
from Texas, but not from Jamaica, your homeland. A man like you now who is so much integral in the middle and long distance.
But as I said, I'm a patient person.
Your time will come.
Yeah, my time will come. I hold no ill will.
Yeah.
I just continue to work hard.
Yeah.
And one day somebody will see, the fruits of my labor and reward.
It's very soon. Yeah. Very, very soon. Club coaching. You involved with any club or nothing?
Well, I actually have a vision to start a distance club.
That's what I was asking.
But again, that's the reason why I'm going through all these continued personal development.
Yeah.
Because I believe once I start it, it should be very impactful. So I continue to develop. There is 2 more courses I want to do. I'm trying to get to the level of being certified as a master's coach.
Okay.
Right. So, because once you have done that, then I believe that I would have equipped myself enough to be able to successfully launch a club and launch it at a high level, similar to the MVPs, the racers.
Yes, that's where you're thinking.
That's where I'm thinking.
That's where you're thinking. Okay. And then what you want to say to the JC family and our whole track and field family?
Well, I just want to say, well, continue to support us, continue to get behind what we're trying to do here. I believe we have a group of excellent coaches here. And so, just continue to support us and let us continue flying the flag high.
That's it. Why the interview coming like I would not continue. But thank you.
Yeah, man, no problem. And by the way, big up to all the GC family.
Yeah, you couldn't do
That's
say
a
that
great
again,
start.
man.
Big up to all the GC family.
Yeah.
Trust me, GC has a special part in my heart because that's where it started.
Yeah.
So big up, enough love.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's amazing, amazing. He said because to all the GC family. I tell you a story. I'm also a GC faster person. Mr. Johnson, when he left actually in second year, and I don't want to use the word happy because we're going to run against
each other for president.
For president. Let me share the story. And this man was miles ahead of me.
Yeah, man, we're ahead.
But manager left in the second year.
Yes.
And then an opportunity came up.
And I actually gave the blessing for him.
Yes.
Because we ran against each other the year before.
The year before.
In the Gen race, and I beat him.
Yes.
Right? But I knew that he had a very has a passion for the college like myself. And I knew his manager skills were. So as everybody had text me say, make sure.
Yeah.
And now I call him God name for the thing,
Yes.
Make sure Mr. Duane get through.
Yes,
So
yes, that I never forgot that. I never forgot that. But it's amazing. It's amazing to come to Jamaica College. I'm actually at Jamaica College, Jamaica, the prestige Jamaica College, and I'm talking to Duane Johnson. He's the middle and long distance coach for Jamaica College. Anything that happened at CHAMPS, he has told his story. You have gone and you have so many persons. The Javon Blake story, as I said, you need to see it. It's a wonderful afternoon here. This is Island Up in Sport. You may never know where we are coming from. That's why we said we keep hopping and hopping. Mr. Johnson, I think I'm going to come back again when good things happen. When good things happen and I hear the big shout at the National Stadium, I think I'm gonna find the ground of Jamaica College again.
Yeah,
and I want to see you and talk to you and congratulate you.
Yeah,
Until then, take care. This is Island Up in Port, as I said. All the best. Join me.